What's up, everybody? So I want to show you something. See this beautifulness? It's my Cocoa Pebbles baby, because I'll tell you why in a second. Some milk. I'm gonna put it away in the fridge, and then come with me. I'll tell you more about what's popping. By the way, just side comment. I don't know how many of you guys realize how nerve-wracking it is to make a YouTube channel. It's very nerve-wracking. I think a lot of things are nerve-wracking if you've never done them. Although, of all the things people can do for the first time, some things, in my opinion, are more nerve-wracking than other things. It's not all apples to apples, even Stevens on the things that are nerve-wracking. Again, some things are more nerve-wracking than other things for the first time. And I think YouTube is one of the most nerve-wracking things because you're putting your whole, not only your face and your image and you're putting your reputation. I mean, you're really putting it all on the line. So that's kind of how that goes. So if I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, by the way, thank you so much for joining me for this little video. It's not going to be the longest video. It's not going to be the shortest video, but I'm going to keep it relatively short. There's a heater that I have in my grandma's house. My grandma has these heaters, and they're really cool. But when you turn them on, they smell. They have a burnt smell to them. It doesn't stay there, but it's there initially. So how you guys doing? Thanks for joining me. This is just a vlog real quick, an update. I told you guys, if you have watched any of my last couple videos, like the last past like 10 or 12 minute videos, you'll know I've been working into the car industry because I'm going to study diesel. And while I have always loved cars beyond, I mean, I can't tell you how much I've loved cars all my life. I've never actually worked in any industry that has any connection to cars except gas stations. I have been a cashier at gas stations, with all due respect towards myself and towards everyone else. I don't think that has anything to do with cars. Yes, it has something to do with cars. I don't think it has much to do with cars. I don't think it has, with the perspective of or in the light of being a mechanic. Yes, it has some connection to cars, but So I mentioned in my other videos I want to work for like a auto body shop or, I just gave it. That's a Freudian slip right there. I want to work in like a gas station or a auto parts store. Did I say gas station? I didn't mean to say that. An oil change place or a auto parts store. So I don't know if I mentioned in one of my last videos. I think I might have. I haven't gone back and checked. I may have or may not have mentioned that my grandma knows this guy. Oh, yeah, I did mention, because I remember talking about my grandma and how she knows this guy. My grandma knows this guy, I told you guys in the last video, who has an auto shop. And when I say auto shop, what it is specifically, I know he does auto body. Whether he does mechanics or not, I don't know. And I should get to bed really soon. I'm going to go to bed just right about now. But basically what I'm saying is, she said she'd ask him if I could work with him. And I'm super excited. And by the way, like the same day, the night before she told me that, or the same day that she told me that, I went to my staffing agency and I asked if I could move from working at the hardware store in town to the diesel company in town. Because believe it or not, you can go get sent out to the diesel company through the staffing agency with essentially virtually and actually quite literally no former experience in diesel. You could just get sent out as a temp worker and go work for the diesel plant. I'm really grateful. Such a cool deal. Now, it gets cooler right here because while I would have loved Well, I would love to work for the diesel plant. And ultimately, that's where I want to truly work when I finish my diesel training. What would also be really cool is to go work for this guy, my grandma's friend, who has this auto shop. Again, I don't really know if he does mechanics or not. I don't know if he changes oil or not. I don't know if he changes tires or not. I don't know. All I do know is that he does auto body. Now, someone can say, well, what does auto body have to do with mechanics? They're totally different trade. Well, there is some truth to that. That's a different trade, but I wouldn't say totally, because they both have to do with cars. And let me tell you something. Remember, my friends and neighbors, anyone who's watching this, remember that we are humans, okay? And humans are not perfectly logical creatures. If you tell someone you worked at an auto body shop, and then you want to get hired to work at a shop that repairs engines, human psychology has this emotional element and this imperfect logic aspect to it. This imperfect logic aspect to human psychology, where someone will be like, oh, cool, yeah, okay, yeah, go for it, okay. Maybe they'll be like, well, it's not quite the same thing, but I mean, you have experience, and people will feel that and think about in their mind that you like cars enough to work at it, that you're invested in cars, so to speak, and truly, indeed, invested in cars. So again, if we were computers, I just spit right now. If we were computers, then there's not the same thing. But because we're humans, working in a shop that repairs the body of a vehicle does help me get my foot in the door, and have more have more status with the place that does diesel. So mechanics. So long story short, the idea is, if I'll talk with the guy tomorrow, and if he wants to let me, he might let me. If he wants to let me, then he'll let me work for him from 1 to closing, 1 to 5 or 1 to 6, 1 to 7, whenever he closes, 1 to closing, and I'll go to school in the morning, 8 to 12. And otherwise, what I'd be doing is working at my hardware warehouse from 7 to 3:30 p.m. and going to school from 4 to 8. It's a win-win-win situation. If I stay at my hardware place, cool. If I work for him, awesome. I also perhaps will only work for him on Saturdays. I mean, it's a win-win-win-win-win.